The site for our college football battle, Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri. There are a few clouds to cover the sun for today's game between the Missouri Tigers and the Houston Cougars. Hi, everybody. This is Brad Nessler, and with me, as always, Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. And Aaron Andrews joins us on the sidelines. EA Sports welcomes you to what should be another great game of NCAA football. Well, guys, how do you think this rushing attack is going to do against this defense today?
I know that this offense has a wonderful running back, but not so fast, my friends. I think this defense is going to win the battle today, led by a superstar linebacker.
Yeah, this linebacker should have a big impact on this game. If he plays well, then the defense will hold up. But if he plays bad, then we may be in for a long day.
All right, guys, thanks. Let's send it down now to the coin toss so we can just about get this thing going. We'll see how these two teams play in this game as they prepare for the opening kickoff. Kicks off, and here goes 4 quarters of action. At the 40. They'll bring him down at the 46. And now we get to see this offense for the first time as they head out onto the field. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. Out to the halfback. Open, and he can't pull it in. What a blow to knock it out of there before he got possession.
Good night. That halfback is going to want to take a breather after that collision.
There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. Straight in the middle, and he meets the defense. They get a yard on the play.
The blitz was pretty effective on that play, Coach.
Yep, they plugged up the holes well, so the back was not able to go very far.
3rd down, and they need to get it inside the 44. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. Finds his man. 1st down. They'll bring him down at the 30-yard line.
If this receiver wants to make it to the next level, those are the types of plays he'll have to make.
Absolutely. They love pass catchers that look the ball all the way into their hands and then tuck it away safely.
And he's pushed out of bounds, setting up a 1st and goal.
This isn't a great example, but I'll tell you something. This kid is really getting better at running his routes, which is truly an underrated quality these days.
Runs it and tackled in the backfield.
I'm curious to see if they have the guts to go to the ground again after that play.
I'd say go for it. Give this running back a chance to get in a rhythm.
That's a good point, Coach, but only if they can get some positive yards.
Looks to the end zone. Interception. What a catch. I'm surprised he was able to hang on to that one.
People tend to think that guys play corner if their hands aren't good enough to play wide receiver. As we just saw, that's not always the case.
Sometimes it's actually the opposite. Some guys play receiver instead of corner because they don't want to hit or tackle anybody. I'd run it off tackle here. Nothing too
They'll
fancy.
get 6 yards.
Just establish a solid rushing game.
3 wide receivers on the field. The quarterback in the shotgun. It's the tailback. Brought down at the 15.
He broke off a really nice run there, and it resulted in a 1st down.
They come out in the pistol. Caught, open field. He's tackled at about the 37-yard line. How about that pass, Kirk?
You know, guys, one of the things often overlooked in college football is the relationship between a quarterback and his receiver. Here, you can see that these two are definitely on the same page.
Open receiver, dropped.
Number 8, the intended receiver on the play.
2nd down and 10 to go. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. And that might be grounding.
To the ground.
on the offense.
He just got rid of that one to avoid the sack.
Yep, and it's going to cost him, Coach. This penalty is marked back to the spot of the foul, so in essence, this is just as bad as a sack.
6 DBs in the lineup. Throws to the receiver, and he's got it again. Inside the 30. The 10. He scores. What a play. Kirk, that was a beautiful pass and a nice catch.
Well, this is one of those plays you just sit back and admire. The quarterback threw the ball perfectly, and again, the speed of the receiver is the difference in this play.
That was a really nice throw by the quarterback. He found the receiver in between the coverage on the post route, and he had no problem finding the end zone.
Missouri ready to kick this one off. He sends it off. He'll return it from the 1. He makes it out to maybe the 23-yard line. The quarterback comes back on the field, and I'm sure he's hoping to make up for that interception on the last drive.
This offense really has to avoid silly turnovers.
Yeah, especially now. This offense is down a touchdown, so they could easily get back into this game by scoring some points. They could do it without the turnovers.
Good pickup by the receiver.
Yeah, this kid loves to play. He wants the ball every time they throw it up.
There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. And he carries the ball for a nice gain.
This is
A
one of my
5-yard
favorite
gain.
plays in the playbook.
On the play.
Going with the shotgun here. Strings it out left, and he stopped right away. He gains a couple of yards on the carry.
2 on the play.
They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. Looks like an option here. They'll drop him for a loss.
They attempted to pick up the first by running it, and they failed.
Yeah, the defensive line won the battle easily that play.
He's tackled at the 23-yard line.
I love
Guys,
the
their
play
last
action
possession,
pass.
they really had
Take the
good
handoff,
success passing the
get
ball.
defense to come up,
if you ask
and then
me,
bang, air it out some more.
Lee, I agree. Make them show you that they can stop it before you change things up.
Great concentration.
This kid has some spring in his legs, Kirk.
Sure seems like it. He also has some pretty good hands to be able to snag that ball to get a first down.
And down he goes at the 45.
This receiver showed soft hands and hung on for the first down. And if I'm not mistaken, the defense sent their corner on a blitz. If he doesn't get to the quarterback, the numbers are in favor of the offense, just like we saw.
On play action. Flares it and almost had it intercepted.
He almost
Just a
had
matter
it.
of pitch and
That
catch.
hurts. I mean,
go
you
get
don't
it
get an
done.
opportunity like that very often.
You know, you're right, Coach. You got to capitalize on that.
Yes, sir.
And they make the stop at about the 23-yard line.
I
Just
like
take
it.
it to the
They're not
back
afraid to try
and
this
send this one
defense
to the
over
air,
the middle.
sweetheart.
The quarterback saw man coverage and gave his receiver a chance to make a play. They picked up the first down. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back to that play.
That'll be a gain of 3 yards.
There was really just nowhere for the wide receiver to go after he made the catch. Great coverage on the play.
The defense is in the nickel. Big play, and it's first and goal. And he just went over 100 yards this half with that last catch.
This receiver's catching everything thrown his way.
When a quarterback and receiver get it going early in the game, watch out, defense. You could be in for a long day.
And he makes it out to about the 5-yard line.
Makes the stop.
A
Gain of
yard,
2
maybe 2
play.
on the carry. 2 tight end set. Tackle made at the 3. Couple of yards there.
Gain of 2 on the play.
After a quarter of play, our score is the Tigers 7, the Cougars nothing.
The score is Missouri 7.
In this situation, I'd challenge my offensive line to get enough of a push to give you a touchdown.
Let's see if they try to pound it in here. Both teams have their goal line sets on the field. Halfback gets a call, and he's got the touchdown. He got behind those big buffet busters and followed them into the end zone.
That doesn't do a whole lot for yards per carry average, but hey, it sure puts a dent in the scoreboard.
I think everybody in the stadium knew that was going to be a run play, and the defense just couldn't stop it.
Missouri is lining up to kick this one off. He kicks it off. He's tackled at the 31-yard line. The offense is looking to be a little bit more successful with this drive as they had to punt the ball away the last time they had it. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. They'll bring him down for a loss on the play. How about the play of this defensive end?
This is just solid run defense here. They get a great push up front, not allowing the runner to have much room to work with. And at the end, they're able to wrap him up.
He drops back. And they get the sack.
You can't stay in the pocket all day long like that. The defense is going to get there eventually. If I were you, I'd play cover 2 with man cover.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide. Brought down at the 48.
Oh, he had the defensive back on his heels. That defender didn't know if it was going to be a post, a corner, a hitch, or a streak. Nice job by the receiver of running a crisp post route, beating the man coverage and keeping the drive alive.
They'll throw on first down. So the turnover will once again give the ball back to this offense.
That's 2 interceptions today by this defense. Their coach has to be happy that they're forcing turnovers.
They'll run the option. And he's taken down at about the 33-yard line.
3-yard loss on the play.
The defense sets up in the nickel. Got hit and still completed it. Here's an opening at the 40. He's tackled at the 36.
Move those sticks. That's a first down.
And a great catch, too. Did you see how he looked that one in?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. He can catch the football.
They line up in the shotgun. On the run. Brought down at the 35-yard line. That run didn't go far. They'll spot the ball a yard from the line of scrimmage. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. Option here. And they'll get him in the backfield. He didn't get much on that play at all.
Brad, the defense had that play read and sealed it off from the get-go.
4 wide. It's batted down, incomplete. So 4th down coming up.
And give credit to the defense there. They played very disciplined and were a great pass.
It's up, looks long enough. And it's wide left, no good. So they'll come away with nothing.
The kicker just needs to forget about that one.
Yeah, sometimes kickers have a tendency to overcompensate on their next kick, and then they miss it the other way.
This kicker's a tough kid, though. I think he'll be fine.
Tackle outside after a nice pickup. They get 5 yards on the play.
5-yard gain on the play.
I love cover 2 here. The cornerbacks need to jam the outside receivers, knock them off their pass route, and disrupt the timing between them and the quarterback.
straight run here, and he's got nowhere to go. And the defensive end comes up with a big play.
Boy, he's quick as a cat, no question. He got tremendous penetration and was able to wrap him up for a loss there.
They line up in the shotgun. He's got the corner. Got an opening. He's knocked out of bounds around the 41-yard line.
Nice run for the first. That'll keep the drive alive.
They line up with one running back in the backfield. 3 wide. On the throw, incomplete pass.
Oh, man. He just overthrew him that time.
Yeah, he just missed his man. Good play call. Bad pass.
Throws in the middle. He's into the open field. To the 10. And he scores. Touchdown. The halfback got his number called on the pass play and came through with a score.
Well, this is what separates good backs from great ones. You have to have the ability to contribute to the passing game.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. And here's our drive summary. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. Short kickoff. Gets to about the 44-yard line.
In this situation,
And now we'll see the offense come out onto the field for their next possession.
Get out of bounds.
5 wide. Throws it. Oh, he had a shot at the pick. The defense really missed a golden opportunity there.
That's what separates a good player from a great player. When you have a chance like that, you need to take advantage of it.
Tackle made at the 32-yard line. This offense continues to move extremely well through the air.
They've got over 200 yards passed now, and if you've been watching this game, then you don't need the numbers to tell you that these guys can move the ball.
Yep, very good performance by this quarterback so far. But let's see if he can keep it up.
In the red zone again. Let's see if it'll be another touchdown. Give to the tailback. He gets out to about the 15-yard line. The running back gets a yard, maybe less.
Well, this corner isn't the biggest guy on the field, but he made a nice tackle there.
Yep, he helps out quite a bit on the run support. Nice play by the senior.
A little laundry on the field, and we'll find out whose it is.
Holding on the offense.
Nothing under a coach's skin more than a penalty like that.
Believe me, I know any time a player on my team committed a penalty, they were running stadium steps the next day.
Got his receiver, touchdown. What a perfectly thrown ball by this young quarterback.
He's gone through a rapid maturation, and that's elevated the level of play for his teammates.
If I was a scout, I'd make sure I bring lots of notebook paper to this young man's games.
Missouri gets set to kick this one away. Short kick. He didn't get a hold of that one. And he makes it out to about the 44-yard line. The offense will come out again hoping to have similar results as their last drive.
And even though these guys are losing, they showed in their last drive that they can score. They need to continue to be productive with this drive.
And he's knocked out immediately after the catch.
What a great play call there. They came right out of the gates and attacked the defense through the air on first down.
Yeah, it was a really nice gain on the pass. Let's see if they go back to the air again on the next play.
He makes the catch and has a first down. Touchdown, big play.
The wideout here truly knows what he has to do to contribute to make his team successful.
And he hits the PAT. And now we take a look at the drive summary. Houston is ready to kick it away. And it's a short kickoff. He gets out to about the 42-yard line. Not much of a problem getting the ball in the end zone on their last drive, as this quarterback just picked apart the defense.
They really beat them up with that passing attack.
You can bet this defense made some adjustments on the sideline, though. I don't know if they can stop the passing attack, but they need to at least be able to slow it down.
The 10. And they bring him down at the 2-yard line. And that is not what this defense had in mind coming into the football game.
Not at all, but you got to give credit to this quarterback. He's really lighting them up back there. He's making picture-perfect passes, and guys are catching everything. Already, he's got 300 yards throwing the football.
This young man has really had a superb game today. It looks like they picked up a yard or a little less. The offense calls a timeout.
In this situation, I'd challenge my offensive line to get enough of a push to give you a touchdown.
They line up in the jumbo set. Halfback carries, and he will score.
Kirk, that was his second touchdown of the day. What else can we expect from him?
Well, I'd bet on at least a couple more touchdowns for starters. He looks like he's really come to play here in the first half.
That score leads us to our drive summary. They're probably just going to squib this kick. I don't think they want to see the return man create lightning before halftime. And he got all of this one. Great kick. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback.
I'd call this one and make sure you don't give up the big play deep.
One-man backfield. Brought down after a nice run up the middle. Folks, let's pause now as we've reached the end of the first half. Our score at halftime: the Tigers 28, the Cougars 14.
28, Houston.
Houston is set to kick this ball off, and we're just about set to get the second half started. Makes it out to maybe the 40-yard line.
I'd throw a little play action.
The offense will take the field, and they've been moving the ball very well on their last couple of drives.
They will look to continue to build on their lead.
They had no problem scoring on their last drive, and they really have this crowd into the game. So I think this defense is going to have a really difficult time stopping them right here.
Looked like the linebackers bid on that play fake.
I didn't even know the quarterback had the ball. That's worth a yoke.
The defense is looking for the pass as they bring out their dime package. And he's immediately tackled.
Look at that great pitch and catch. That's great stuff right there.
They line this position. 4 rivers split a form. He scrambles. Lost the ball. Fumble. And there's the lucky break that this team has been looking for.
Well, I'll tell you this. If these guys are going to make a run at coming back in this game, they better do it right now.
They need to get the momentum on their side and really take advantage of this mistake. Now let's see if they capitalize.
He's pushed out of bounds at about the 35. They get 5 yards on the play. There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. Tackle at the 34-yard line. A loss on that one as he couldn't get past those big linemen.
You got that right. They sacrificed their bodies in there and stuffed him.
They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. And it's knocked down.
He wasn't letting the receiver get to that one.
That's a big play on 3rd down to get a hand in there and break up the pass.
I think the quarterback would like to have that one back.
Makes it out to maybe the 40-yard line. So the offense comes out after their last drive, had the ball end up in the defense's hands by way of a fumble.
And, you know, we talk time and time again about how important turnovers are.
You know what they say? The team that commits the least amount of turnovers usually wins the game.
He's hit and taken down. Chalk up another catch for this wide receiver today.
Well, Coach, this wideout continues to impress us and putting up some pretty decent yards today so far.
Yep, he's over 100 yards now, and that's certainly a solid day for this young man.
A flag is thrown after the pass, and this one's going to be grounding.
This is a good call. The quarterback was between the tackles and really just threw it away to avoid the sack.
The quarterback can complain all he wants. They'll call that every single time.
He's tackled right around the 34. He looked pretty confident that time on the throw.
Yeah, good throw into coverage it looked like, and you're right. He seems well composed, very sure of himself on that play.
Now he tries to buy some time. Flag on the play. Let's see what it is.
Flipping on the offense.
That one will put the offense in a
Still
hole,
first
and they'll
down.
try to get some of that back on this upcoming play. The offense lines this one up in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They'll throw on first down. Throws it, and it's tipped away.
The corner made a really nice play on the ball there, Coach.
The old receiver never had a chance. That was great defense.
It's complete, and they make the stop at about the 27-yard line. And he threw that ball in there nicely. Did you see that, Coach?
Yes, I did, Brad, and that was a good pass and a very good game.
Quick out to his receiver. Brought down at the 19-yard line. And, guys, that last throw puts his passing total at over 400 yards for the day.
I like the way he's throwing the football today, showing a lot of poise in the pocket.
And let me tell you, it's been fun to watch, too. They go with the run, and he's taken down behind the line.
The halfback had nowhere to run, and he paid for it.
They need to throw some blocks out there. Hit somebody. This ain't a walkthrough.
They're calling an audible. Caught, enough for the first down. An excellent pass to the wideout for 6.
That wide receiver had his eyes on the end zone the second he caught the ball. That was a nice-looking play.
And there must have been a defensive mix-up on this play because there weren't any defenders near him when he caught that football.
He makes the PAT. Let's take a glance at the drive summary. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. He sends it off. Taken at the 5. Fumble, loose ball.
Yep, and turnovers often change the momentum of an entire game.
6 DBs in the lineup. Hit on the throw, he caught it. And that sets them up with a 1st and goal. A nice little pass play there.
And that was a perfect time for a screen. The defense was a little aggressive that time and weren't really in great position to stop this play. Terrific call.
They give to the tailback. A 2-yard run by the halfback.
And that was the sophomore linebacker there who was able to get in and make that tackle.
They're crowding the line. Up the middle for a nice gain. About 4 yards on that play. The defense backed up into their own end zone. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. They put everyone up on the line. On the run, touchdown. So the halfback comes away with his 3rd rushing score of the day.
This guy's been a very big factor in this game today, Coach.
Yes, this would be a different game if he wasn't on the field. He's accounted for 18 points today. Not bad for a day's work.
splits the uprights with the extra point.
So we take a moment here. Let's check out the drive summary.
Missouri ready to kick this one off. Decent kick. He's out of bounds at the 26.
The offense comes out of the field, and they're hoping to avoid the similar fate that killed their last drive.
They need to make sure they don't turn this ball over again.
I don't think they'll make the same mistake on consecutive drives, Coach.
And down he goes at the 27. He barely got it past the line of scrimmage that time. The defense lines up with 5 defensive backs. Batted away.
How about that defense?
Well, that's why he's on the field, to make plays like that.
3rd and 9. Ball on the 27. 5 DBs on the field. Finds the junior. He's taken down
At about the 49.
I think they'll be looking to run, so try cover 1 defense.
They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation.
He fights forward to about the 49. Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback.
He let that little corner bring him down. To be a productive runner at the college level, you have to make that guy miss and get upfield.
And it's caught. And he's level at the 45. The quarterback really kept his poise under pressure and delivered a pretty nice little ball right there.
Yep, it was a great job of getting away from the pressure, and they ended up getting 6 yards on the play.
3rd down again. Nickel defense. He'll get the call again. They'll get him for a loss. Well, they tried to keep it on the ground for the first down.
You know, Brad, here the defense just steps up and makes a play, stopping them and bringing up 4th down.
And they use motion. It's complete. He's at the 40. He's on the run. To the 20. To the 10. And he's finally shoved out at the 2-yard line. That was a nice play.
This is a simple screen play. The defense does a horrible job here of shedding their blocks. This allowed the ball carrier to squeeze through there for a nice gain.
Takes a snap and scrambles quickly out of the pocket. They weren't able to defend a quarterback scramble, and they give up 6.
And he's one of their backs who can do this when he's close to the goal. He'll pump fake, then take off, or he'll put his head down and crash it in. Anything goes with this guy.
The defense calls a timeout. Here's the onside.
They bring him down, and they bring him down hard on that one.
And that should pretty much put the nail in the coffin, don't you think?
Yeah, all they need to do now is run the ball and turn it.
Throws falling back, incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 32. They come out with 4 wide out. Complete, and he's brought down. A decent gain on the pass.
Yo, Kirk, good job by the quarterback here reading this play.
Yeah, the defense came with a blitz, and you're right. Great job by this young quarterback of recognizing the coverage and spotting the open man.
They hand it off. He fights forward to about the 10. And the halfback's got nowhere to go. 2nd and 9. Going with the shotgun here. Again, he'll get the call. There's a flag on the...
Holding on the offense.
That penalty drives them back, and they're shooting themselves in the foot here.
Well, if they could just keep their concentration, they'll avoid situations like that.
Two tight ends here.
200
He'll get it again. He's tackled at the 11. Gain of 9. 3rd and 11 coming up here.
The quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation.
And he rifles it in there for the touchdown. And this quarterback continues to control the game. That's his 4th touchdown pass.
He's had one heck of a performance. Great job by this quarterback.
And now we're going to take a look at the drive summary. Missouri lines up for the kickoff. And he got all of this one. Great kick. Tackle made at the 24-yard line. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Caught out in the open. Across midfield, and they tackle him at the 44. Heck of a play by the quarterback.
When you bring a lot of pressure, you're going to leave yourself open out there, relying on your secondary and your linebackers. You're just hoping they can make plays. That time, the defense lost. The offense won.
They gained 5 yards there.
Snap on that chin strap and go out there and hit somebody.
They come out with 4 wide out. And down he goes at the 36. Just about 3 yards there. 5 DBs on the field. I think the offensive line missed a block there.
Somebody did. It was like a jailbreak up front, and the linebacker will get the credit for the sack.
This defense uses a very good blitzing scheme. It's easy to see why they are usually so successful.
The offense now will take the field, and they hope to have the same success they had on their last drive.
Boy, this offense has been something special lately, hasn't it, Kurt?
They just seem like they've been in the end zone time and time again. There's not much negative you can say about this performance.
Here's the back. He can't get by the defense.
You asked,
A great
so I'm telling you,
defensive
run
effort
this
there.
play.
And let me tell you, the key to that play was right there in the defensive line. They tied this offensive line up and allowed their linebackers to come up and make a big play.
Lee, I agree with you. We always talk about the linebackers and safeties, but credit the big guys up front for that play.
Runs it and tackled in the backfield. They'll drop him for a short loss there. This is a dangerous situation backed up against their goal line. Ball on their own 3.
There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
Throwing left. It's knocked away, incomplete. Nice job there to bring up a 4th down.
Pretty good throw here by the quarterback, but he couldn't quite get it in there. That was a nice job by the defense.
It's away, and it's a booming punt. And down he goes at the 48-yard line. Great punt, great tackle. That's exactly what these guys were looking for out of their special teams.
The punter here does a great job, and the coverage was exceptional. They got down the field and didn't give the return man any room to make a move.
In cover 2, each safety protects a deep half of the field.
From the gun. Pulls it in, and that's a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense.
And the defense gives up some free yards to the offense.
You know, penalties can ruin a team's chances to win if they commit too many.
Go with cover 3.
They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation.
On the ground with the tailback. Nice run there. The offense calls a timeout.
I call this one the Scooter Special. Try it right now.
There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
The throw, and it's almost picked.
Boy, a golden opportunity missed by the defense. That was a sure interception, only to be dropped.
They line it up with 3 receivers. Drops back to pass. Pulls it in and gets out of bounds. Wonderful play call to convert on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, he really wanted that first down. Good determination to get it.
Tackle at the 9. This one's in the books, and our final score, Missouri 49, Houston 21. As we take a look at the play of the game, Kirk, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, it looks like we called this one right. Houston came out as severe underdogs, and they were absolutely demolished by a much stronger, faster, and experienced football team.
Well, that does it for this presentation of NCAA Football 10. For Aaron, Kirk, and Lee, I'm Brad Nessler. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.